Just waiting for it to boot up. We'll get started momentarily. Thank you for your patience. And waiting for broadcast to be published. Right now I'm waiting for my software, Streamlabs OBS, to communicate with YouTube and get us live. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Hello, I'm Rod Howell from UnitedTask.com, and this is live at 11. This is our daily broadcast, Monday through Friday, where we cover some technique, we cover questions and answers, and we do a little tap dancing. That's what we're going to do. As soon as you join us, please feel free to pop in questions, any questions that you have at any time into the chat, as well as requests. Great, let's jump in. So today we're going to start with our technique tips. For technique tips, we're going to focus on pullbacks. Pullbacks are a big topic, especially for beginner tap dancers. These are what I consider pullbacks, also called grab-offs or pickups, or I'm sure there's other names as well. All right, so let's talk about some common problems and how we fix them. Well, with pullbacks, very often you'll find, if you're a teacher, that students can't get them, or if you're a student that you can't get them, right? Like you might be doing this and nothing's happening. Okay, so what is the number one thing, in my experience, the number one thing you can do to get the sounds is simply to travel further, or if you have students, is to have them travel further. One note of caution, when you're doing that, do not lean forward. If you try to travel far and you lean forward, you can fall on your face. You want to keep your stomach directly over your feet. So if you're going to travel more, make sure your stomach travels with your feet more. But just increasing how far you travel or how far a student travels, dramatically, in my experience, has dramatically increased the number of students who will get the pullback, like dramatically. Now you have to be careful. If you're a teacher, when you say travel more, they might go from this, and you say, okay, travel more, and they're like, okay. So they went from like 6 inches to 10 inches of travel. No. You literally need to aim for like 4 feet. Basically, you'll say, okay, I want you to start at this line, and I want you to finish at this line. I'll literally have my students, I'll say, when they're not traveling enough, even though I'm saying, I'll say, you start there, here's my foot, your goal is to make it to my foot in one pullback. So they have to go really far, okay? And in that act of having to travel further, what I found that does is that naturally changes the mechanics of their foot and their leg such that it creates the best possible mechanics for getting the sound. All right. So getting it, like I said, it's not guaranteed for all, but if you give me a class of 10 tap dancers who have never done pullbacks before, I can get 9 out of 10 of them to do pullbacks on the first day using this one trick: travel further. Now I'll use that in conjunction with something else, which I'll explain in a moment. But just simply by getting them to travel more than they think they need to. In conjunction with traveling more, I will do alternating. I go, they have to watch me, stare at my feet, and then they go. And then I go, and then they go. Of course, when they go, I'll give them feedback, travel more, or whatever. But this back and forth of them seeing it, because something happens, especially when a student is watching it, they might not be consciously saying, oh, I can see the exact angle his foot is as it leaves the floor, and I can see the exact timing. They're not consciously calculating everything that is happening with my feet. But subconsciously, there are calculations happening, because we are designed to mimic and to copy, especially children, right? So we are highly designed to do that. So by them watching me do it, and they do it, by them having to keep watching me do it every single time after they try, there's a constant reinforcement, there's a constant absorption of their brain of what is supposed to be happening. And it's not even happening on the conscious level, and that's okay. Because sooner or later, that's going to filter through in combination with trying it and then watching me and compare, trying and watching me compare. That cycle will almost always eventually yield that pullback. Usually, like I said, for 9 out of 10 kids, I can get it on the first day. Now, for the ones who don't, what are some problems? Well, very often inside this kid's shoes, they're squeezing and holding their toes down. So they're like doing this with their toes, like clawing. No. they have two options. I tell them you can either completely relax the toes and don't squeeze them at all, or if you're going to squeeze, you get a half-second tap on the first sound. That's it. Right there on that first ba, and then you have to completely relax. Those are your two options. But clawing is not an option because that gets this. That gets the really scrapey scrape stuff, which is not good. It's not what we want. Another thing, sometimes students will try to lift their feet up high. Well, I can't get it. Well, yeah, your feet are way too high. Your feet should be close to the floor. Look how close mine are to the floor when I do the pullbacks. They stay very close to the floor. So that's another thing that you'll want to keep in mind. So those are some techniques and some strategies to help people getting pullbacks or help you get pullbacks if you're struggling. Travel more than you think you need to. Do not claw those toes. If you have access to a video of someone doing it correctly, alternate between you do it, watch them. You do it, watch the video. You do it, watch the video. So that your subconscious is absorbing the motion of the leg. All right, excellent. So that is our technique for the day. Welcome, Vivi. Hello. And welcome, Robin. Hello, Robin. Awesome. Great to have you with us. I really appreciate that. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in there. What I'd like to do now is when I make up a step that I haven't seen before. Again, I would love your feedback. Do you like to see the actual process, or would you like the process to be done off camera and then all you see in the end is the end result? I'm waiting for any feedback you have on that, and then I'll adjust it. Right now, I'm just doing it live because it's interesting for me. It may not be interesting for you, which is why I ask if you want to see that or not. All right, so like I said before, I'm going to be creating a step I haven't seen before. I'm not saying no one else has ever created it. I'm sure someone probably has, but I haven't seen it. So I'm going to literally do this on the fly, which is kind of fun and interesting for me. Because I never know what's going to happen here. So I like a flap on the right and a dig on the left. Let's do it this way so you can kind of follow along. That's cool. So brush, step, and dig. Then I'm going to do, those are happening at the same time. Then spank, heel, I think I did a toe. Yeah. So I'm going to do brush, step, and dig same time, spank, heel, and then I'm going to do a left toe and a right toe twisting out so you get some visual there. Now turn this way so you can follow. Brush both, heel, spank both. I guess that theoretically you can do the other side. Brush both, heel, spank both. 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 Now, when I do that, if you listen closely, you can hear some flamming, meaning one sound's happening slightly before the other. That one's a pretty good one, but some of them go like this. And usually it's the dig happening first. When you have that one sound happening before the other, the trick is in your brain is to actually tell your feet, make that sound happen later. Not just later, but later than the other sound. So right now the dig is happening before the step. So I'm going to tell, my brain is going to tell my feet, make the dig happen after the step. It didn't work. No, actually it did work. It worked too well. Now it is too late. But generally, if it's too early and you tell it, if it's too early and you tell it to be late, it'll be exactly the right time. So now I'm going to shoot at the same time. There we go. There you got a step that maybe you haven't done before or haven't seen before. I certainly haven't done or seen it before, so that was fun and exciting and interesting. So now I'm going to jump on and just do some tap dancing to the music. I'm going to put the music on and I'm going to do, it's sort of like a hybrid. Part of it is just reinforcing basic skills, so it's sort of like a practice session for me. At the same time, I will probably modify and play with different patterns and different steps to make them interesting. So it's like half practice, half play. That's a great way to think of it. All right, Robin says she would like to watch the process. Well, thank you. Okay, great. Then that worked out perfect. Visual learner, yes. And Vivi, that is so hard to me, but I love it. Yeah, yeah, it is a little. Yeah, it's pretty challenging. It's a little more on the advanced side. I mean, if you wanted to do like a simpler version that's a little more basic, you just do like flap, scuffle, toe, flap, scuffle, toe, flap, scuffle, toe. Or even easy, that would be easier. Probably not. But another option you can do, flat, big heel, toe, flat, big heel, toe, flat, big heel, toe, flat, big heel, toe. Doesn't quite, it's not, I like the first version better, but those are like some easier options as well. Okay, so again, I'll put the music on. Feel free to follow along. Yeah, and enjoy yourselves. And feel free to continue to ask questions and comments in the chat. I will pause periodically to answer those and address those. All right, let's get some music. And we'll do snowdrops. Haven't done snowdrops in a long time. detected over the last 2 minutes. Hey, Carson. Okay, Parker, do you perform at places? Generally, no. So, from the time I was young, from even when I first started tap dance, I enjoyed being in class and learning and mastering steps. And later combinations were always hard for me. I was always terrible at picking them up. I was the slowest one picking them up. I was the last one to get them for a long, long, long time. But nevertheless, I enjoyed the in-class experience. The stage, being on stage, I never got that feeling that so many other people who love to perform get. Like when they're on stage, they just get this like electric charge, and they're just like, it's like this cool, awesome, special feeling for them. I don't get that. I get that when I create a step I haven't seen before, or if I create choreography or a combination that I really like. I get that then. I get that really cool, awesome feeling. I never get that on stage. I just don't. It's just not how I'm wired. So for me, because of that, I've done some performing. Like I worked with a professional tap company. We did various performances, and I did competitions when I was younger. But I never looked forward to performing. It was never like, oh, I get to perform. I get to be on stage. It's like, no. It's like, it was more like, well, I have to perform. This is something I have to do the other stuff that I enjoy. So I just don't get that excitement out of performing. So as a general rule, no. There are a few exceptions here and there, but as a general rule, I don't perform. Like I said, I just don't get the charge out of it. I like creating and other stuff like that. So yeah. And welcome, Carson. How's it going? Hello to you as well. Hopefully the video's still working fairly well. I'm getting a little notice that I have skipped some frames. I don't know what that's all about. Well, it's probably about my computer trying to handle all the live streaming software. Okay, so let's keep rolling. I'll keep keeping it different on the right than the left. so bad. Good for the day. Viva, Vivi has to go. Nas ferias, you volta a practicar desde o iniciante. See you soon. Not sure what that means, but excellent. Thank you for joining me. All right. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. Oh, we didn't get to choreography. You know what? I'll do that now. So I did get a request from a previous video about choreography. I'm so glad I remembered that. I remembered at the end, but it's still there. So let's talk about choreography. Or maybe let's not. Let's save that for the next one, and I'll remember to do that. I'll do that one right at the top. I'll do that maybe instead of step tag. All right, so again, thank you. Feel free to put comments, questions, and suggestions, and any and all feedback in the comments, so that I will have it for future episodes where I can address it. Like someone asked about choreography, I was supposed to address it this one. I missed that, but I'll get that next time. Tomorrow I will get that. We'll address choreography. But the question was, how do we do choreography? How do we create choreography? Like for people who are not experienced with it, or don't feel confident in it, or don't feel good about it, or need help with it, what are some tips for creating choreography? I have some suggestions for you, and we will cover that tomorrow. Thanks so much for tapping with me. I, of course, am Howell from United